Hello Year 5, this is Miss Heakin and this is lesson 4 of your English lessons. So you will need a pen or pencil and your home learning book or some paper to write on. I'm going to give you a few seconds to get yourself sorted. Okay, ready? Let's go. So your writing task this week is to rewrite a traditional tale, and we know our story has been based on Little Red Riding Hood, and each day we've been looking up different ideas and we're going to start our big piece of writing. So we are going to retell a traditional tale. So just to recap, on Monday we looked at the expanded noun phrase. An expanded noun phrase is a phrase made up of a noun and at least one adjective. And it has a determiner, adjective, noun. My turn, determiner, adjective, noun. Your turn. So as we can see here in this sentence, lots of yummy cold ice cream. The determiner is lots. Adjective is yummy and cold, and as there's two, we've separated them with a comma, and the noun is ice cream. A sentence without an expanded noun phrase, Liam climbed aboard the spaceship. With an expanded noun phrase, Liam climbed aboard the sleek metallic spaceship. It creates a picture of what the spaceship looks like and adds more detail to the sentence. So, to construct an expanded noun phrase, as you know, we need a determiner, adjective, noun. There's a word bank to help you. So, pause the video now and let's see if you can write 2 of your own expanded noun phrases. Okay, call out your expanded noun phrases. Excellent. So which of these sentences uses an expanded noun phrase? And I want you to think to yourself, how do you know? Florida gazed up at the gigantic silver plane and realised that maybe they weren't staying so close to home after all. Little Red was horrified when she saw her little old granny trapped in the wolf. She walked down the path excitedly as she got closer to Granny's house. So pause the video now and look for the expanded noun phrases. 1, 2 or 3, tick or cross. Let's see how you got on. So in the first one, the expanded noun phrase is the gigantic silver plane, as we have the determiner, the gigantic silver, adjective, and noun, plane. In number 2, her little old granny, her is the determiner, little and old is the adjective, and granny is the noun. And there is no expanded noun phrase in number 3, so that should have been a cross. Now, moving on to simple sentences. Recapping again, a simple sentence has a subject and only one verb. My turn. A simple sentence has a subject and only one verb. Your turn. Super. The girl is the subject, sprinted is the verb after the tiger. The cat is the subject, purred is the verb. So remember, we were using simple sentences to create suspense or unease. And it's using a subject and a verb, and it can be very short in length, but it doesn't have to be. For example, if we look at this example, we rounded the corner, he was there, we stood in awe at the sight. The pauses in between the sentences imitates the idea of heavy breathing and helps give a sense of suspense, and that's what we want to create in our writing. So here is a tension, suspense and mystery word map. I want you to try and write your own simple sentences using these words. Pause the video now. Okay, call out your sentences. Let's see how you did. Fantastic. So, which of these sentences is a simple sentence? Imagine this. You're trapped. It's dark. It's cold. She looked around the forest but couldn't see anyone in sight. We rounded the corner. He was there. We stood in awe at the sight. So remember, it needs to have a subject and a verb. So write 1, 2 or 3, tick or cross. Pause the video now. Okay, let's see how we did. So in number 1, you're trapped. Subject is you, trapped is the verb. In number 2, there is no simple sentence there. And in number 3, he was there is a simple sentence. And our last recap is parenthesis. Parenthesis is adding extra information to a sentence using brackets, dashes or commas. My turn. Parenthesis is adding extra information to a sentence using brackets, dashes or commas. Your turn. What does it add? Extra information. Excellent. And how do we do it? Using brackets, dashes or commas. Super. So it can be a word, phrase or clause using brackets, dashes or commas. When the parenthesis is removed, the sentence still makes sense. So as we see the example, I moved to Sheffield in 2011 when I was 6 years old. If we take away the parenthesis, I moved to Sheffield in 2011, still makes sense. And the punctuation, as we can see there, commas, brackets and dashes. Have I identified parenthesis? The cottage was hidden deep in the forest. The cottage, old and derelict, was hidden deep in the forest. The cottage where Grandma lived was hidden deep in the forest. 1, 2 or 3, tick and cross. Pause the video now. Okay, let's see how we did. So, number 1. There's no parenthesis. Number 2, old and derelict, we're using the commas to add more information. And number 3, we have used the brackets, where Grandma lived, as parenthesis. So today you are going to rewrite this traditional tale from the beginning. We're focusing on the beginning and the middle. So to recap the story, Little Red Riding Hood goes to visit her grandmother with a basket full of treats for her as she's not very well. She meets the wolf in the scary forest. He distracts her after she tells him who she's going to visit. He races ahead, swallows Grandma up, gets into the bed to disguise himself. Little Red comes in and is tricked by him, and he then swallows her whole. And the woodcutter realises something suspicious is going on when he gets to the house and finds the wolf sleeping. So he cuts open his belly, sets them free, fills it up with stones, and the wolf dies. Now is your time to plan your story. I would write bullet points about what happens in each section to help you remember what to include. Pause the video now to plan your writing. Okay, you should have planned it all by now. Let's get started. So your writing today is rewrite the beginning and middle of Little Red Riding Hood. So you're going to set the scene, add in characters and use speech. And in this, you're going to include all 3 features we've learnt about this week. Noun phrase, expanded noun phrases, simple sentences and parenthesis. So you're starting with Little Red waking up in her house and you're finishing with Little Red entering her grandmother's house. So you need to include all about meeting the wolf, all about the forest, lots of description and simple sentences and parentheses you can get in that writing. Make sure you're including lots of description with your scenes, about the scenery, add in details about the characters, and make sure you're using inverted commas with your speech. And try and make it exciting. Don't be saying said Little Red Riding Hood, said mother, said the wolf every time. Change it up, called, shrieked, screamed, yelled, whispered. Make it exciting. This is your story and you're getting to rewrite it. To make it as exciting as possible. So some sentence starters to help you: in the deep dark woods, early one morning, or a long time ago. So just if you needed a bit of help to get your story started, you can use one of those. Good luck, Year 5.